This is ankles, so we look at plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, and ankle eversion and inversion. Now, what you can do in order to stretch, so if this movement is limited, it means that the shin muscles are tight. So you can just practice this movement to relax, to stretch the shins. If that movement, so the feet coming forwards, so we're looking for them to be about 20 degrees away from the vertical, and you might just want to get a friend to help you determine whether your feet are actually moving from vertical towards you. And if that's limited, I mean, some people can't get past vertical, then it means that your calves are tight. So if your shins are tight, and if my assistant can show, if you come into kneeling now, Tony, so leaning to the side so that you're side on.
Yep.
And sit back on your heels. How's that feel on your shins?
A bit tight.
So, because Tony has got tightness in his shins, this is a bit uncomfortable for him. So what we can do, if you just lift up, we want to put the cushion along the shins and to the ankle joints.
Right.
How does that feel?
Yeah, that feels a lot better.
Yeah. So to stretch his shins, he basically needs to just practice in this posture, shoulders back and down, head straight. Just take a few deep breaths, concentrating on relaxing, passively relaxing these shin joints. Shin muscles, sorry. And he can just sit there for 6 breaths. And that's it. So as his shin muscles stretch, he can start to take the cushion out, and then so he goes from having a bit of padding to no padding. So whatever your condition, you can put in thicker cushions or whatever until it's comfortable for you to actually sit. So that's the correction if the shins are tight. Now
so essentially kneeling?
Essentially just kneeling. Now if the calves are tight, then we do a yoga pose called the downward dog. So he starts on all fours. You bring your hands just slightly forwards of your shoulders, and just a little bit of flexion in the elbows, not too much. Shoulders relaxed. Knees are underneath the hips. And then you tuck your toes under, you lift the knees up, and then you start to straighten the legs, to take the heels down towards the floor, bring the chest towards the thighs, and breathe. So you're trying to feel it in the back of your calves.
I certainly am.
Great. So now you would stay there for 6 breaths, but if it's too much for you at any time, you just bring your knees down to the floor. Place your tops of your toes flat on the floor. Sit back on the heels and bring your head to the knees. Bring your hands by your feet and relax. And then coming up to sitting. Okay, so that was the first movement of the ankles and the corrections. The second movement of the ankles, if you bring your legs out in front of you again, so come to that beautiful sitting posture you had before, back straight. Let's put the cushion under you.
Thank you.
So sitting on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulders back and down. Bend your knees slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Bring your head forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're trying to get that. Okay, right. So start with your feet together.
Yeah.
So feet are straight, toes touching at the base, big toes. And now we're doing eversion and inversion, and these movements aren't used at all in cycling. So what you do, the first movement is that you pull your last 4 toes towards you, and then you bring your feet together.
Okay.
And then you pull the 4 toes towards you, and then you bring your feet together. And then you pull your toes towards you on both feet.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And then bring the feet together.
See, I'm a yoga novice.
And then feet to the outer toes towards you.
You really have to concentrate on this.
And feet together. And again. So you're inhaling, the feet come out. Exhaling, feet together. Inhaling out. Exhale together. Inhale out. And exhale together. And relax. So the correction for those, if those movements feel difficult, is just to practice the movement.
Right.
And then we combine all 4 movements together. So you bring your feet apart slightly, and then you rotate the feet in the 4 directions. So the feet go forwards, to the sides, pulling back towards the body, to the opposite side. 3 times in each direction. And relax after the 3rd time. Okay, good. And there we have the first joint, the ankle joint.
Thanks.
Okay.